Golden Wildfire, the Golden Guardian. After Count Gloucester's surprising defection, the Empire's invasion of Leicester begins in earnest. The Alliance Roundtable unravels, and the region descends further into chaos. Yet the Alliance does not yield. Claude takes command and rallies his comrades, insisting that so long as they can withstand the Imperial onslaught on Regan territory, they will survive.
And that's where things are. It's only a matter of time before the Imperial Army marches on Regan territory.
Once again, Margrave Edmund is only offering financial support instead of troops.
My apologies. I'll do all I can on the front lines in my adoptive father's stead.
And on top of that, he sent his adorable daughter to risk her life on the battlefield. Unbelievable.
I'm so sorry for the trouble.
You have nothing to apologize for. The blame rests squarely on your father's shoulders. Mark my words, the next time I see him.
I think we get the picture, Judith. Save that fire for the battlefield. We're finally free of Count Gloucester and his overbearing pompousness. You don't need to go filling his shoes.
Isn't that exactly why you called me here? If I'm to fill his seat, I assume I also get his right to complain. Honestly, what's going on? The Alliance is facing an unprecedented crisis, and these great lords can't even show up to their own roundtable.
House Ordelia has no ability to resist the Empire, given our location and lack of military power. Were my father to take his seat at the Round Table now, the Empire might interpret it as a show of defiance.
I take it that means House Ordelia won't be contributing to the Alliance in any way. 2 of the 5 Great Lords have effectively forfeited their seats. Why not fill Ordelia's chair with someone like Viscount Seward?
Not happening. Can you imagine the fuss Albany and Burgundy would kick up when they learned we only asked Seward to participate? Those 3 houses have always been treated as equals. Besides, I doubt Viscount Burgundy could come even if we did invite him.
House Burgundy's circumstances are much the same as House Ordelia's. In fact, their position may be even worse than ours.
How are we supposed to stop the Empire like this? House Goneril was supposed to swoop in and save our skins, and even they couldn't bother to attend.
Leave it to my brother to eat some bad mushrooms just before an important meeting.
Don't you make excuses for him. If Holst couldn't make it, then the Duke should have come himself.
House Goneril has already pledged their full support. They're not the problem here.
Then why waste our time with this conference?
Our troops were provided by the Alliance's nobles. You know we can't act without a resolution from the Round Table, even if it is a mere formality. And anyway, the entire Alliance needs to be on the same page if we're going to coordinate our military strategy.
Well, as I said, I'm afraid there's not much House Ordelia can do, even if we are informed.
Be that as it may, we still have to get this done. Let's move on and discuss our strategy for the battles to come. This is it, folks. Right now, we need everyone focused on defending Deirdre. Here's the plan.
When we fought the Empire at the Great Bridge, it looked like they had a number of mercenary groups working for them. And yet, I didn't see any sign of Gerald's company among them.
It's not like that was the only battlefield, and there's no shortage of mercenary companies.
That's true. And you don't have any inkling of when the Empire is going to launch their attack on Deirdre?
No clue. They could strike tomorrow for all I know.
Then I imagine there's no time to waste in formulating a plan and fortifying the city's defenses.
Yep. If we lose the initiative, the battle's practically over.
If that's the case, then why are all of you just idling the days away?
The army can't act until Claude returns from those meetings. It's like no one can even sneeze around here without it turning into an endless debate. A king or emperor can make things happen with a wave of their hand. But I guess it's not so simple when you're leading an alliance.
Ruling by consensus may work in peacetime, but it seems to have a distinct disadvantage during a war.
Hey, Claude's calling for us. Sounds like the round table's finally over.
We better get going. If we don't hurry, all the food will be gone.
It's not a banquet, you know. It's a war council. But yeah, we should move.
I'll be right there.
Let's start with introductions, shall we? Allow me to present the head of House Daphne, the Honorable...
The name's Judith. I'm joining the War Council at the invitation of our Supreme Leader here.
It is a pleasure to see you once more, Lady Judith. I am heartened to know that we will be fighting at your side.
You're Gloucester's kid, right? You've grown into quite a handsome boy over the last few years.
I'm sure all the men here seem like little boys to someone like Judith.
Ah, Duke Goneril's daughter. You've grown quite lovely yourself. You'll be outshining me in no time.
Are you kidding? I've got a long way to go before I can compete with you.
I don't really know what you two are talking about, but I think I'm ready for it to be over. Let's start the briefing.
So, you want us to hamper the Imperial Army's advance in order to delay their arrival at Deirdre?
That's right. And we'll use every bit of time we gain to tighten up our defenses around the capital in preparation.
Then we have to avoid losing too many of our allies before the battle in Deirdre.
Exactly. Hold them off as best you can, but the second you're in any real danger, I want you to fall back.
It's easy enough to order retreat after retreat, but I don't see how that's supposed to win the day.
Can you be more specific? How exactly are we going to slow down the Imperial Army?
We'll use our terrain advantage to impede their progress and keep them off balance. A small force should be more than enough to handle that. Ultimately, our goal is just to buy time until the defenses are ready. And if we can just stop them from taking Deirdre...
Claude, I have to ask, are you keeping some kind of incredible top-secret plan from us?
Sure, I may have something up my sleeve, but it won't amount to anything if we fail to protect Deirdre, I can promise you that.
But if we succeed, then this plan of yours will get us out of our predicament? If that's the case.
Yes, and there is still hope.
You kids are all so young. Don't do anything rash and get yourselves killed, all right?
All right, let's reclaim all that time we wasted on the roundtable conferences. Watch each other's backs out there. I know we can do this. Got a minute? That's a tricky one.
Are you sure?
One step at a time. Anyway... Anyway...
That reminds me. How tiresome.
Need something? How's this? Hey!
What can I do for you?
Oh,
Hey! Let's see.
fascinating. I was wondering who it was. What fortuitous timing.
Did you need me for something?
Nothing in particular. I was simply thinking of having a little chat with you. Please, do relax.
But I already am relaxed.
I've heard your background is quite the mystery, and what's more, that you possess some sort of unknown power. It's certainly a bold decision for Claude to put someone like that in charge of frontline forces.
I don't know if there's anything bold about it.
Oh? It seems you do not understand your unique position then. Each noble house in Leicester commands its own knights, and those knights in turn enact the will of their lords through the soldiers in their employ. But you are no knight, merely a mercenary who commands soldiers in fealty to nobody at all.
Maybe so, but all my orders come straight from the Alliance leader himself. What's the problem?
There is no problem, per se. You excel at what you do and fight with true valor. However, protecting the people of Leicester has always been the nobility's responsibility, and theirs alone. Some nobles may feel insulted that they have to rely on a simple mercenary of unknown origin.
Seriously? But nobles are usually the ones hiring mercenaries in the first place.
On the other hand, I hear there are more commanders of common birth in the Empire of late. Given our current lack of resources, the Alliance could serve to learn from them and promote more commoners through our ranks. Which means there should be no particular reason for anyone to resent you.
Didn't you just say they might feel insulted? If nobody's getting all hot under the armor about it, then there's no problem, right?
That said, this does not change the fact that a noble's obligation is to protect the common folk. Though your exact origins remain unclear, you undoubtedly fall into the commoner category as it stands. Therefore, you are entitled to all the protection a noble is compelled to provide. Simply say the word if you ever require my assistance.
Of course, Lawrence. You'll be the first person I go to. Capable guy like you has plenty of sway with the other nobles, after all. You know, at first I thought you were just coming to complain, but you were actually trying to be nice.
Me? Nice? To you? Oh my, you are funny. Allow me to explain. I am the heir to House Gloucester, a noble among nobles. My offer of aid was not an act of kindness. It was a means to inform you of your place in this society. You would do well to remember the order of things here in Fodlan.
So you just came to tell me how I'm disrupting the order? You are complaining.
Most certainly not! Do you really think me that small-minded? I've acknowledged your skills, and all I ask in return is that you act according to your station. Understand?
All right, I'll keep that in mind. For now. In any case, my job as a mercenary is to fight. Simple as that. You're wasting your time if you're gonna get all bent out of shape about me.
I am not getting... Never mind. We shall continue this at a later date.
Well, well. Hello, you. We have some truly capable people here. Come back soon, all right?
Greetings. Welcome.
Greetings, friend. Greetings, friend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually... I'd really appreciate it.
Do you have a minute?
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Excuse me.
Hey there. Need something? Is this it? See you around.
Do you have a moment?
Let's see.
You sure?
I can do this.
Ah.
Please, listen.
Wait up.
Hello? How tragic.
Let's see.
I'll take care of this.
Whew, glad that's finally over.
Oh, hey! Nice job out there.
You too, Hilda. Good to see you back safe and sound. That was one close fight, huh?
You think so? I didn't even break a sweat.
Really? Well, I guess we did have the upper hand for most of it.
We sure did. And yet you still charged headfirst into the most contested part of the battlefield. You know, that's why you end up feeling like every battle is some huge ordeal. It's so unnecessary. I know you want to argue. I can see it in your eyes. Living fast and loose is only gonna land you in an early grave.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to live like anything. This is just how mercenaries are. You can't distinguish yourself by hanging around in the back, and if you don't stand out, you don't get paid. People notice you if you do something showy on the front lines, and that can bring in the next job, you know?
You're basically commanding an entire army now? What does recognition matter at this point?
You're probably right. I guess I've just gotten so used to fighting like that, it's hard to change. Aren't there a bunch of mercenaries in Goneril territory? Pretty sure I've heard of a merc company stationed at the throat.
Yeah, we use mercenaries a lot when we're beating back the Almiran army.
Then I'm sure they're the same as me. Haven't you seen them going all hog wild, competing with each other up at the front?
I've never really fought with them, but I can imagine that they're way different from regular knights. My brother is always going on about how some guy from some mercenary company or other died fighting at his side.
No surprise there. The more a merc makes a show of themselves, the easier it is for the enemy to spot them.
Right? And that's exactly why I'm worried about you. You don't have to stress about grabbing attention and getting paid anymore. So just take it easy, okay? We don't want you dying before your time.
Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. It's not like I have a death wish or something. I can't really change my fighting style overnight, but I'll try to keep the recklessness to a minimum. Don't worry. You know, I've never seen a noble worry so much about a mercenary. You just sit back and enjoy the show, all right?
Enjoy the show? Yeah, that sort of talk is so not making me feel any better.
This is unfortunate.
You need me?
Please.
Your thoughts?
Which battle do you wish to reflect on? I'll continue gathering records of your battles.
There you are, Ignatz.
Hello, Lysithia. Do you need something?
I wanted to thank you for your actions in our skirmish earlier. You blocked the enemy's approach, which allowed me to maintain my position on the battlefield. I'm very grateful.
Oh, you don't need to thank me. Protecting comrades is all part of the job when you're a knight.
At first, I thought knighthood would prove to be a task beyond your ability, but you've turned out to be surprisingly dependable. Didn't you come from a merchant family?
I sure did.
Then if I may, why have you chosen to become a knight instead of taking over the family business?
Because I'm the second son. My older brother is going to take over the business. My father wanted me to become a knight so I could help my brother that way. It was a lot to deal with, but in the end, I'm pretty happy with how it all turned out.
It's quite commendable to choose a future based on your family's wishes.
Oh, it's not so impressive.
Your family must have been ecstatic when you were knighted.
I suppose they were.
To be honest, I am envious of you.
You are?
I am. I haven't been able to do anything for my own mother and father yet. I hope to be as strong as you and do something equally wonderful for my parents one day.
You're very considerate of your parents, Lysithia. And I know how hard you work when you set your mind to something, so I'm sure you can do this too. Yes, well, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
That is to say, I certainly will. Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really should be going. The work of a knight is never done, after all.
Hey, this is great. I bet anyone would love this stuff.
Go on and eat up, Ignatz. He'll never get any bigger if you hold back.
My growth spurt's long past, Raphael. And why are you so concerned? It's not like you made this.
Come back whenever you're hungry. Hunger is the true in it. Come back whenever you're hungry.
Hey, I was wondering if I could ask you something. I heard that you don't have any parents. Is that right?
Yeah, the woman who raised me died, and I don't even know who my birth parents are.
That must be tough for you, huh?
Nah, it's okay. They all died a long time ago, so I don't feel sad or anything like that now. But I do wonder who I really am sometimes. I don't have even the slightest memory of my birth parents.
Well, you might not know who you are, but you still work hard and you keep your chin up through it all. That makes you super strong in my book.
Hey, Raphael. Your parents are gone too, right?
Yeah, both my mom and pa died in an accident.
Well then, you're just as strong as I am. You work harder than anyone I know, and you do it all with the biggest grin in the world.
Of course! It's easy when you love training as much as I do. Hey, I just realized something. We've sure got a lot in common. Our parents aren't with us anymore. We're both commoners scraping our way through this war, and most importantly...
What can be more important than that?
Both of us have got some serious brawn!
I appreciate that, but our body types are completely different. Not sure this really counts as brawn.
Sure, you're a little scrawnier than me, and maybe a lot smarter. But you know, my brain's been getting a constant workout ever since we opened the inn.
You have an inn?
Oh, yeah. I went home and started one up with my grandpa and little sis once the academy shut down. Running a business like that takes a surprising amount of muscle. Sure, there's regular stuff like hauling things around, but you need brain power too. If you ever want to make a profit, you have to pay real close attention to keeping the books straight. I mostly let my sis handle that stuff, though. That muscle still needs more work for me. Which means I'm in charge of the cooking. But that has its own share of problems.
Yeah, it can be tough to find your footing when you switch jobs, especially if you have to start doing things outside your wheelhouse. Trust me, I've had my fair share of growing pains getting used to the army life. Everything's way different from how it worked with my merc groups.
But don't you just fight? That doesn't seem so different to me.
As a mercenary, the only thing you're responsible for is yourself. Show up and do the job right, and you'll get your pay. But having soldiers to command, people I'm in charge of beyond just myself, that's a huge change for me. And there's way more to military work than just plain combat. Stuff like managing resources, making sure everyone has the weapons and armor they need. I don't think I'm bad at math per se, but it's definitely not something I'm used to doing. And the more stuff there is to keep track of, the harder it all gets.
Hey, you're not so good at using your brain either. We're practically twins. That makes us pals now, right? I've got your back, so you just keep on working hard, buddy.
Right back at ya. Let's keep fighting the good fight. Oh, hey, Ignatz. What you reading?
Wow.
Yeah, he definitely didn't hear me. Hey, Ignatz!
Ah, what? Oh, it's you. Can you please try to not sneak up on me like that?
Sorry about that. I was trying to talk to you, but it didn't seem like anything was getting through. You were making all kinds of weird noises while you were reading. You eat something bad?
No, nothing like that. It's just that this traveler's journal is full of such vivid imagery and wonderful surprises that I can't help but react.
You've seriously been lugging books around with you? Though I admit, that does sound like a good one.
Yes, it's fascinating. The author's unknown, but whoever it was really traveled to all these places and documented everything. It's amazing how vastly things can differ depending on where you are, like the plants or the animals or even the ore in the ground. And of course, the way people live in those areas is so diverse too, like their food and their clothes. But what's most interesting to me is the architecture. Ruins in Fodlan contain ancient architectural styles that are, for some reason, also found on faraway islands.
All right, I get the picture. You talk like you've seen it all firsthand.
Well, I really try to place myself in the author's shoes when I read. So I guess in a way, I have. I'd love to visit all those places myself, but that's easier said than done. Especially since I became a knight.
The way you say that makes me think you never wanted to be a knight in the first place.
Oh, no! No, of course I did. At any rate, both my father and my brother are pleased that it's official.
Sounds to me like you became a knight for them.
That's not it at all. I'm very happy with my decision, honest.
Even though you can't go off traveling?
Yeah, getting sent out to different locations for battle is kind of the same thing. Oh, but of course the mission always comes first. It's not like I go off wandering whenever I feel the urge.
Uh-huh. But you would if you could, right?
Why do you keep asking me about this? All these leading questions, they're uncalled for. I might not be able to travel of my own volition, but I can read books and go wherever I want in my imagination. And that's good enough for me.
Hey there, Ignatz!
Oh, Raphael!
I've been looking all over for you. Got a minute to chat?
Of course. With all the battles lately, we've barely had any time to sit down and rest.
Right? It feels like I don't even see you anymore. And I definitely don't have enough time to show off my muscles.
Glad to see you haven't changed at all these past 2 years. The Officers' Academy shut down so suddenly. I scarcely would have imagined we'd all end up back together as part of an army.
Same here. Oh, and I could hardly believe my ears when I found out you signed up to be a knight over with Lawrence.
To be honest, I had nowhere else to turn. I owe a great debt to him and his generosity.
Gotcha. He's not such a bad guy, that Lawrence.
I agree. Tell me, Raphael, how have you been holding up these past 2 years? I hear your family opened an inn.
Oh yeah, me, my grandpa, and Maya. Business is going pretty great if you ask me.
That's wonderful. And how is Maya?
She's as sunny as always. That reminds me, she was pretty worried about you. I better write her a letter and tell her you're okay. I'm sure she wants to see you. Bet you're feeling the same way, huh?
Of course, I'd love to come and... That is, I should write her a letter.
What's wrong?
Life never works out the way you want, does it?
Huh?
Oh, it's nothing. Just thinking back to my childhood. Back then, I felt like I had the power to do whatever I wanted.
What do you mean? I still feel like that now.
You do?
Sure. I know I joined the Officers' Academy to be a knight, but that option's off the table. But look at me now. I might not be a knight, but I'm fighting in a war as if I was. All you've got to do is put your mind to it, and you can do anything you want. Trust me.
Yes, I think you're right. Thanks, Raphael.
Care to make yourself useful?
Counting on you both.
What? Me? Fine.
Sure. That'll be no sweat.
We all must do our fair share. Care to make yourself useful?
I've got nothing to worry about with the two of you on the job.
I don't want to waste any time, so let's get to it. Do you think you can work quickly, Marianne?
Yes, I'll do my best.
That was adequate, I suppose. At least you managed a brisk pace, Marianne.
You'd yell at me if I didn't, but I'm glad we got through it.
We all must do our fair share.
Oh, hello there. Are you doing some research?
Yeah, I was just looking through records of past battles. Figure I'll probably run into some similar situations.
That's admirable of you. I thought that someone with a mercenary background would be a little more reckless with their fighting. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That sounded a bit rude, didn't it?
No, you're right. My fighting style was pretty loose when I was a mercenary. Actually, I can't say it's really changed that much. But I've got more responsibility now, so I've had to adjust some. Any mistakes I make would only cause problems for everyone else, right?
Huh. You're much more studious than I thought. I can see why Claude trusts you so much.
You really think I'm held in such high regard?
That's what I've heard, at least. It's very impressive, especially since you're so young.
Thanks, Lysithea. And the same goes for you, too. For a kid, you're amazing at what you do.
Excuse me? Who is a kid?
Huh? Well, you are.
I must ask that you refrain from treating me like a child.
I wasn't trying to...
You said, and I quote, for a kid. I'm aware that people often treat me like a child, but to think you'd call me one directly to my face! I work harder and contribute more to this army than anyone else here. It is truly vexing that something as inconsequential as my age can dictate how people treat me.
I'm sorry. I had no idea you hated being treated like a kid that much.
This is not a matter of like or dislike. My belief is that those who fight alongside each other should treat one another as equals.
Well, yeah. I thought I was complimenting you as an equal, obviously.
Then there is no need for any qualifying language. You should compliment me as you would anyone else.
Hold on, didn't you tell me I was impressive for being so young? Doesn't that mean you assessed me based on my age, too?
Me saying you're impressive in spite of your age is completely different than you saying I'm pretty good for a weak little baby.
Pretty sure I didn't phrase it like that.
But it's what you meant! Oh, I should have never complimented you!
You know, an adult wouldn't get all stubborn and combative like this.
I am not being combative. I'm simply having a normal conversation with you. Is that a problem?
What about this is normal to you?
As I told you before, I do not have a crest.
Why do you insist on hiding it? It can only mean your crest is somehow...
Please stop!
What's going on here?
Lysithea!
What were you saying about crests? Go on. I study them every day without fail, so this is extremely relevant to my interests. I do hope you have proof of your theory, though. Spewing out unfounded platitudes will just lead to consequences you definitely don't want. I might not look it, but I'm a general in this army.
Ah, well, we were just finishing our conversation. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Thank you, Lysithea.
Think nothing of it. I stepped in of my own accord. You appear to hold a secret or two regarding crests.
Well...
No need to answer. We all have things we prefer to keep hidden. Still, your situation hits rather close to home for me. Perhaps too close. What? So if you ever need assistance, don't hesitate to ask. We secret keepers need to hold strong with each other after all. Oh, and I'm not saying this because I pity you. But you clearly find your secret painful. In light of this, maybe I've been a bit too harsh on you in the past.
Oh no, you haven't been harsh at all. I'm merely envious of how strong and level-headed you always appear to be. I never would have guessed you hold a closely guarded secret just as I do.
I'm not gonna tell you, if that's what you're after.
Yes, I suspected as much. Still, perhaps you would be willing to hear mine one day? I feel like being around you gives me the courage to finally set it free.
I would be happy to hear you out, and also to help rectify the situation if possible. I know quite a bit about Crest's scholarship. That fool talking to you earlier couldn't hold a candle to me.
Thank you, Lysithea. I already feel a little bit braver.
I'm offering you the full might of my assistance. I hope you can do better than a little.
I mean a lot. I know I'm going to feel a lot braver.
You need me? Wow, this is great! Phew, what a workout. Oh, hey, are you here to train too?
Nah, just grabbing something I forgot earlier. Is this normal training time for you, Leonie?
Well, yeah. We've been so busy lately, I've had to squeeze it in whenever I can.
Huh. You work hard for a mercenary.
I'm just starting out in my career, so I can't afford to slack off now. I only started training as a merc after the Officers' Academy closed, remember? Meanwhile, you were one before you even came to the Academy. You've got years of experience on me.
Still, you're skilled and you've got brains, which means you're more promising than the average rookie.
I hope you're right. I have to distinguish myself at some point, or else I won't be able to face the captain.
You have a captain?
Yep. He visited my village when I was a kid, and I practically begged him to make me his apprentice. I was probably a huge nuisance, but I was so desperate to get out of my village and be independent. Gerald treated me like an annoying little brat at first, but eventually, he taught me for real. He showed me everything. Tricks of the trade, standard training routines, basic strategy. Don't you have a mentor? Someone who showed you the ropes?
A mentor? I do have a mentor, in a sense. You know, someone who occasionally gives me advice and stuff.
That sounds sort of vague, but I guess there can be all kinds of mentors. Either way, you still have loads more experience than me. I need to work hard so I can catch up with you.
Well, if you ever want help from an old pro, just say the word.
Thanks. I'm glad to have a role model I can count on.
Do you have a moment? I really appreciate it.
Hey, Marianne. You were really doing great during those drills today.
Oh,
I'm heading over to the mess hall. You want to join? After all that training this morning and no break, I'm starving. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You like to eat alone, right? Then don't worry about it. I'll find someone else.
no, I'd like to accompany you. If you would have me, that is.
You sure? All right then, let's go. I wonder what's on the menu today. Oh, man, that was good. I feel alive again.
Yes, that was nice.
By the way, why'd you decide to come along with me?
What do you mean?
You usually sit by yourself. I thought you didn't like eating with others. Sometimes I see you eating with Hilda, but I figured that's because she makes you do it, right?
Yes, I do feel more comfortable when I'm alone. I haven't been around people much, so I don't normally know what to say in conversations.
Well, now I'm even more curious why you decided to eat with me.
Well, you have a strange power, right? It makes you transform, or something like that.
Yeah. You curious about it?
It's not so much that. I, wondered if you despised having it.
I don't even give it much thought. And besides, my powers come in handy a few times. I know it makes people suspicious of me and curious about my background, but that's just how people are.
And yet you always have such a sunny disposition, and everyone here respects you. I wondered why that was.
I mean, I sure hope they respect me. So, that's why you wanted to join me?
I wanted to know how I could be like you.
Like me? But Marianne, it's not like you have some mysterious power tucked away, right?
No, I don't.
If you just want to make friends with people, then you don't need to think so hard about it. It's not like anyone here hates you.
Don't they? I'm so useless.
Hey, you're a huge help to all of us. I mean that. So you don't have to force yourself to act like someone you're not, okay?
All right. Thank you for saying that.
That's a tricky one.
Greetings.
Need something? How's this? Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks. I should call it a day. You sticking around?
Nah, I should finish up too. Thanks, Shamir. I have to work out new unit formations for our next battle.
You're pretty conscientious for a mercenary. That's rare in our profession. Well, sorry to cut and run. Good luck with all that.
No worries, I can handle it. It's my responsibility, after all.
Right, well, if you ever need a hand, just let me know.
Really? Thanks. Dependable as always, Shamir. Honestly, you're so mature for your age. You always seem so composed, almost wise, even when we're just chatting.
I wouldn't say wise. Save that for the higher-ups. I just mind my own business. Plenty of mercenaries do the same.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
You know, you're pretty easygoing yourself, even by Merc standards. Have you been on your own for long? Didn't you belong to a mercenary group at some point?
Yeah, but I bounced around a lot. Let's see, the company I was with the longest was... probably Burling's mercenaries, the last one I joined. But then we clashed with Gerald's band, and I was the only one who survived.
There isn't a mercenary who hasn't lost someone or something along the way. The losing trusted comrades stays with you.
Yeah. Captain Burling, Getz, Lasley. We were a tight-knit group, if a little rough around the edges. I would have been content staying with them till the end.
Maybe your experience is what's made you so pragmatic. It takes real strength to overcome past hardships and move on. That's what I think, anyway.
You know, you seem way more pragmatic than me. I wonder what made you that way.
You should know not to pry into a mercenary's past. But if the right moment comes, maybe I'll tell you about it.